Just what's the difference between sand volleyball and the indoor volleyball? I mean, it's obviously there's a lot of differences, but I mean it's the same similar game, but only two people, right?
Yeah, the two people aspect of it changes the game tremendously. You have outdoor conditions when it is outdoor. The sand itself is a game changer as well. I mean, it'll gas you out much faster than indoor, and you're constantly off balance and unstable, so it's a brand new element for sure.
When you heard that it was coming back to that Missouri State was going to sand volleyball, what was your thought? I mean, were you like, God, I got to get back there, or what were you thinking?
I mean, it's been in conversations that it would come and be introduced eventually. So I was thrilled that it finally did happen. I mean, the introduction of it being an NCAA sport was huge for the whole volleyball community. So for it to come to my alma mater, and I think right now there's only about around 60 teams total, I mean, that is just a wonderful opportunity.
Could you just talk about the hiring process and how it came to be you standing here today?
Yeah, well, years ago, Stokes, my old head coach for the indoor team, she talked to me about potentially there being a beach volleyball team in the future, but we just didn't know when. And at the time, I couldn't really tell her if I could or couldn't do it. And so years later, she calls me and says, hey, this job is opening up. I think you should apply. I think, you'd be perfect for this position. Where are you in your life right now? And it happened to be absolutely perfect timing. And that's how it worked out.
So are you still gonna be professionally playing on the sand volleyball circuit, or how's this gonna work?
That's the plan. Absolutely. I'm gonna juggle both and hope to get in the mix here with my players and with the community year round, and fly to tournaments, because tournaments are pretty much hosted also everywhere, not just California. So I'll be traveling throughout some parts of the summer and playing the tournaments that I can.
So speaking of players, how are you going to go about recruiting players now? And I know you can dip into some of the indoor players.
Some of the indoor players, definitely, and I feel like I have a really good rapport with a lot of people in the beach community, so I already know a lot of coaches, a lot of young players, just being in the environment in California. So I will be looking a lot in California, and I will be looking in Florida as well, primarily.
So have you reached out to Lily yet?
To Lily, yes, I've met and talked to Lily, absolutely.
Can you just talk about your relationship with Coach Stokes and how you stayed in touch over the years?
Yeah, Coach Stokes and I have really had a great relationship. She was there for me when I played here, and we had a really good rapport. I didn't feel like just a number, so we've always stayed in contact, and it's really once a bear, always a bear. It's true to that, 100%.
With the players, are you going to be able to get are there going to be sand only players and indoor only players, or will there be something where you kind of maybe they recruit some people that can play sand and then you kind of get them in the spring?
I think there will definitely be some hybrids for sure. There are some programs that like to designate for each specific sport, but I look forward to working with Stokes because I think both of them help develop a player's all-around game. So I am hoping to have a lot of hybrid players for indoor and outdoor, and probably a couple of beach only as well.
Are there high schools that do beach volleyball, or is it just West Coast kind of? You know what I'm saying? I mean, is anybody plays high school sand volleyball?
I think it's up and coming just because it was introduced as an NCAA sport. California has a lot of teams booming for high school, but for Florida, I think it's up and coming too. In this area, there's been talks about more people getting into it just because there's opportunities now. So I think it's going to be booming everywhere, to be honest with you.
Are you going to play? What conference are y'all going to be in? Or is it going to be an independent?
It's independent, yeah, because like I said, we have a limit on how many teams that we have total in the whole nation right now. So, yeah, until that more schools get a program, I think that we're going to stay independent for a while.
How do you foresee the spring of 18? What's it going to be? What's the schedule going to be like? Is it going to be 20 games, or is it going to be?
We're figuring that all out now. Believe me, I'm excited. I know that we want to get a minimum of 8 solid tournament dates. So we're going to be going through hashing out that process in the next month to figure that all out.
Just talk about the facility. I mean, it seems to me like you got something that a lot of schools don't have, that Missouri State would be able to host a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, the facility is awesome, and I was just asking Casey about what the sand was like and how deep, and basically she was saying it's about 1 to 2 feet deep, which is excellent. You don't want it to be too shallow. The sand felt really good. I love that it is outdoors. When it does get cold, we're gonna have to figure something out, and I'm hoping that we do get an indoor facility as soon as we can. But there is, like I said, there's no feeling like being outside and there's weather conditions and there's wind, because even in California there's tournaments that are freezing and you have to deal with pouring rain or just freezing conditions, very, very uncomfortable conditions, and lots of wind. So being outdoors is really where beach volleyball is.
We have the opportunity to build a program here, being the first coach here. What do you see the program being in the future?
I foresee it being excellent, just like the indoor program. I think we have a lot to build on here, and especially being one of the few teams to have an established program in the whole nation, I think it makes us pioneers of the sport.
How do you feel that beach volleyball was stacking against the other sports in Missouri State?
How do I feel? Like comparing it
attendance-wise, like do you think you're going to draw a crowd compared to other sports, or do you think it's going to be?
Well, I hope so. Well, it being fresh and new, and I think beach volleyball in itself is just exciting. I think it gets a lot of exposure from it being a very popular Olympic sport. I mean, I'm hoping we get a good attendance. I'm hoping that we host at least one tournament in the season, but I can't make any promises.
So you do see some home dates in the future?
Yes, definitely. We got to get the community excited about it here, right?
There's plenty of room for bleachers, I said.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.